Giving all praise, honor, glory to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RACHAKODASH, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and a sincere shalom to the Akim out there pushing the sincerity and the truth and the sound doctrine. Um, this is going to be kind of a quick video. It's going to be as quick as it's going to be, Um, I really don't know exactly what I'm going to title this video as of yet. Something on the lines of women excelleth overall when it comes to men, really, and you'll see what I really mean by that as we go on in this lesson. By me being in first Ezra 3, you already pretty much know where I'm going at with that. If anybody knows what I mean by women excelleth overall, and it's pretty much that's the thing that it destroys kings. That's the very thing that destroys a lot of men. Women, not just being your partner, so-called partner, should I say? Partner is equal, so not really being your wife. Okay, so let me just rephrase that, because you're not a partner. That's your wife, right? Your servant, right? um, so it's not just with her being your wife, but it could be your sister, it could be your daughter, it could be your mother. Yeah, yes, that's another big one there. Your mother, right? It could be anybody. It could be a woman on your job. It could be anything. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to read this, and it's going to explain the rest of the way. And this is just this whatever is written aforetime is for our learning today, and that's why these scriptures exist. Okay, it's for our learning. It tells you what the heck to look out for. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start at. I'm not obviously not reading all of this as far as the whole chapter, but we're going to start at verse 1, and we're going to work our way down, and then we're going to go jump to verse 4. All right. So it says, now when Darius reigned, it says he made a great feast unto all his subjects and unto all his household, right? And unto all the princes of Media, okay, and Persia, and to all the governors and captains and lieutenants that were under him, from India unto Ethiopia, of 127 provinces. And when they had eaten and drunken and being satisfied were gone home, then Darius the king went into his bedchamber and slept, and soon after awake. All right. Then 3 young men that were of the guard that kept the king's body spake one to another, let every one of us speak a sentence. He that shall overcome, and whose sentence shall seem wiser than the others, unto him shall the king Darius give great gifts, right, and great things in token of victory, right? So they're pretty much making a bet, right, as to, okay, let's say a piece, let's give a statement. Whoever seems the most wiser, right? Then King Darius is going to give the wiser one the greater gifts. All right, so mind you, this is 3. Okay. Let's see here. Let's go and jump down. Um, Okay. Yep. Let's go jump down and to verse 9. And it said that when the king is risen, some will give him the writings, and of whose side the king of the 3 princes of Persia shall judge that his sentence is wisest to him, shall the victory be given, and was appointed. Now, here we go. Here are the 3 sentences. The first wrote, wine is the strongest. The second wrote, the king is the strongest. The third wrote, women are strongest, right? It says, but above all things, truth beareth away the victory, right? Now, this is where we get to the point here, because verse 13 it says, "Now when the king was risen up, um, they took their writings and delivered them unto him, and so he read them." Right. So there we go. Now we're going to jump to the verse 14. Right. So the first one said wine, the second one said the king, and the third said the um the women, right? So as you read on down verse 3, I mean chapter 3, it the first one is explaining, okay, they this is the part where they start giving their explanations as to why they said wine is the strongest, why they said the king is the strongest, why they said women is the strongest, right? So we're going to jump on down, because if you read this, and anybody that wants to still read it, the third one is the wisest, okay? And the third one won that bet. The one that said the women are the strongest. Now we're going to read why he said this, okay? And we're going to read why we say this to a degree too, okay? As in the fashion of watch out. Stop chasing them. Watch out. Okay? This is why his bet won. Okay? Then the third, who had spoken of women and of the truth, this was Zerubbabel, all right, began to speak. It says, "O ye men, it is not the great king, nor the multitude of men, neither is it wine that excelleth. Who is it then that ruleth them, or who have the lordship over them? Are they not women? Women have borne the king and all the people that bear rule by sea and land. Even of them came they, and they nourished them up that planted the vineyards from whence the wine cometh up." So here we go. And again, this is why men have so much of a connection with women. Because no matter how you look at it, women are always a part of something in our lives from our birth. Even though we come from the seed of a man, they keep leaving that out, but it's from our birth and the nourishment, which they're not doing right now. They're getting abortions, right? They have so much of a connection to the woman, right? Especially if you're weak to the woman. I'm talking about weaker to the woman. Number one, you look for a woman to be a helpmeet, a comfort, because that's what they're made to be. When you read Genesis, they're made to be a helpmeet. They're made to comfort men. Okay, they're meant to be our comfort. But when that's taken away, we got nothing. Our mothers are even supposed to be a comforting to us, and that's not happening, right? So he's explaining that, yeah, because I mean, the women, they birthed, you came out of a woman. She birthed the king. She birthed the ones that of the vineyards, the one that the reason why we even got grapes, right? That's what he's explaining. Okay. Let's see here. Uh, Verse 17. It says, "These also make garments for men. These bring glory unto men, and without women cannot men be." It says, "Yeah, and if men have gathered together gold and silver or any other goodly thing, do they not love a woman which is comely in favor and beauty?" Okay, you see that? Again, this is why men love women more than women love men. Okay, we because when you look at your wife, that's your possession. That is pretty much your property, right? You penetrate her, okay, and that becomes you. She is become you now. When she goes off and starts messing around and stuff like that, that's a dagger to your heart, straight to your heart. All right. What's being said right now is, as far as in this society, is that, yeah, man, the woman, man, they're so delicate, they're so fragile, they're this, they're that. And they're some of the most coldest creatures on this planet right now. Okay. They'll take you to child support quick. All right. If anybody's going through that. Uh, but as a man, men aren't so quick to take women to child support, all that, even though a lot of them deserve it. But a man would be like, nah, you know, not doing it, right? The child support is just one, you know, one thing, because some men out there do deserve to be put on child support. I'm not even going to front, man. You know, it is what it is. We're in a really, really messed up backward society, right? We're in a really, really messed up backward society, and it's just what it is. Okay. But anyway, it says, verse 19. It says, and letting all those things go, do they not gate and even and even with open mouth fix their eyes fast on her? It says, and have not all men more desire unto her than unto silver or gold? It says, or any goodly thing whatsoever. Why? Right? Why? Because that is supposed to be a possession. See, you women today talking about being a prize. Well, to be honest, I'm being 100% honest with you. When you look up pride, the definition of a prize. A prize is like a trophy, right? And a trophy is something you what? A trophy is something that you possess. And as of right now, you're not our possessions. Okay? You're brute beasts. And that's what, this in this manner, right? It says, have not all men more desire unto her than unto silver or gold, right? Because silver and gold is something that you possess. You add on to your possessions the spoils of war. What are the spoils of war? The money and the women. Those are spoils of war. If something major happens in America, guess what's going to go first? The money and the women. Okay, those are spoils of war. That's just what it is, right? They want the woman as a possession, right? It says a man leaveth his own father, right, that brought him up and his own country, and cleaveth unto his wife, right? So now, at first it was going into the fact that of mother, and now it's going into wife. You see what I'm saying? So you got two things going on here. You got the mother and you got the wife. Okay, the mother that birthed you and so-called nurtured you and stuff like that. You have a strong love for, no doubt about it. And then it starts getting ridiculous. This world makes it so out of control, so ridiculous. It's absolutely insane. Going off of this passage, you had the mother, and now it's going into the wife. See, now you leave your household and you go to another woman. And mind you, it wasn't just one. It was a couple. It was a few. Men having multiple wives back in that day was normal. And it still is normal in some places. It's just that here in America, well, it's westernized neuterization. Okay. Anyway, this says, a man leaveth his own country, so like his own father that brought him up, and his own country to cleave unto his wife. He sticketh not to spend his life with his wife, and remembereth neither. He sticketh not, pretty much, not being around. It says to spend his life with his wife, right? And remembereth not neither father nor mother nor country. It says, by this also ye must know that women have dominion over you. Now we summing it all up. We have had brothers in the truth, and even brothers right now in the truth, going through it with these women, right? And it's just like, I think a lot of brothers need to keep reading this and remember this. Why this third man is the wisest, right? Is the wisest out of the two. All right. This is exactly why. Okay. Because mind you, what did he say? He said the women are the strongest out of the wine and the king, right? It says, but it said the truth reigneth over everything. And what is the truth? women they'll have dominion over you, right? It says, by this also ye must know that women have dominion over you. It says, do ye not labor and toil and give and bring all to the woman? It says, yeah, man taketh his sword and goeth his way to rob and to steal and to sail upon the sea upon rivers and looketh upon a lion and goeth in the darkness, right? And when he have stolen, spoiled, and robbed, he bringeth it to his love. Do we need to explain anymore? That's a very self-explanatory scripture right there. It says, wherefore a man, I'm 25, yep. Wherefore a man loveth his wife better than father or mother. It says, yeah, because I've seen well, I was gonna say something, but no, I don't know, I haven't. um it says, yeah, many. Oh, here we go. We heard this scripture a lot. It says, yeah, many there be that have run out of their wits for women. It says, and become servants for their sake. Right? Remind you, things. And this, he's going into the truth part now. See, he explained why he said women are the strongest, and now he's going into the truth part. Right? Many also have perished, have erred, and have sinned for women. Sheesh. And now do ye not believe me? It says, is not the king great in his power? Do not all regions fear to touch him? It says, yet did I see him. Uh-oh. Here we go. See, so pretty much he said, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you still don't believe me? I mean, sure, yeah, the king is great in all his power. All the territories nearby, all the other armies and stuff like that, all the regions, they're all around roundabout. They fear not to touch him, you know? But watch this. He says, yet did I see him, and Apame, the king's concubine, the daughter of the admirable Bardicus, right, sitting at the right hand of the king, and taking the crown from the king's head and setting it upon her own head. He's telling you what he saw, right? He saw this with his own eyes, and now he's kind of like exposing it. It says, she also struck the king with her left hand, right? And yet for all this, the king gaped and gazed upon her with an open mouth. If she laughed upon him, he laughed also. But if she took any displeasure at him, the king was fain to flatter, that she might be reconciled to him again, right? It says, O ye men, how can it be but women should be strong, seeing they do thus, right? So that's how he was. So he was pretty much going into, that was his explanation pretty much. You see here, verse 33, it says, then the king and the princess looked one upon another, so they began to speak the truth, right? Oh, so he began to speak the truth. O ye men, are not women strong? It says, great is the earth, high is the heaven, swift is the sun in his course, right? For he compasseth the heavens round about, right? Fetcheth his course again, right? To have his own, to his own place in one day. Is he not great that maketh these things? Therefore great is the truth, and stronger than all things, stronger than all things. Okay, it says, um, all the earth crieth upon the truth, right? And the heavens blesseth it. All works shake and tremble at it. Okay, it says, and with it is no unrighteous thing. Wine is wicked, the king is wicked, women are wicked. All the children of men are wicked. And such are all their wicked works. Right? It says, and there is no truth in them. In their unrighteousness also they shall perish. As for the truth, it endureth, and is always strong. It liveth and conquereth forevermore. Enough said. That's a wise man there, man. And again, Jake and these women these days, I really recommend that a lot of Jake could keep reading First Ezra 3 and 4. I think an awful lot of Jake need to read First Ezra chapter 3 and chapter 4. Because it seemed like Jake with these women, they just still don't get it. You got a lot of arrogant Jake out there too. You got a lot of selfish Jake out there. And what's crazy is you got a lot of them just think that they just got it going on. And it's almost like they forget that. And I'm talking about Jake and the Truth. I'm talking about Jake and Great Millstone. The hell with these other camps, man. Brothers, it almost seems that brothers forget that we are under a curse. And the Lord put us under this curse. And the only way to mitigate that curse to some degree is praying to the Lord. Right? And it seems like brothers just think they still got it. And they disregard advice from elders, right? And they just think they just got it going on. I recommend a lot of brothers. This is a great scripture to lock in for real. This is really good, man. This is I read this quite a few times, but I've never read it the way I just now read it. Like I've never even done a whole video on it. I mentioned it in videos, but I've never even done a whole video on it. And just me reading this today show that this is a really, 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 really good scripture, man. That I think a lot of brothers need. So this is pretty much all I got on this, man. Again, I don't know what I'm going to title it yet, but you'll see it when you see it. All right. So giving all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, Shalom.